Hey everyone, welcome to the show today. We are here at Lake Murvaul in far east Texas, close to the Texas-Louisiana border, and we're going to be chasing channel catfish during the spawn. It's my favorite time of the year to catch these fish up shallow, and we're even going to unveil a new secret out deep. I better make sure I've got plenty of ice in my fish chest because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey folks, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you put a full limit of fish in the boat in just a few hours of fishing? I'm Captain Michael Littlejohn with my wife Terry from Lake Tawakoni Guide Service. And folks, we've moved east today. We're in the far piney woods of East Texas at Lake Murvaul, which is about 45 minutes from the Louisiana border, nestled really in the deep heart of southeast Texas. And we're gonna be chasing channel catfish. We're gonna take techniques that have worked on Lake Tawakoni for years, and we're gonna bring them to a lake we've never fished before. And I guarantee you, these techniques that we're gonna use today are gonna work on any lake you fish from Florida to Texas. Also, we have weekly fishing reports from your local region. But first, back to the studios for your weekly planner.
Hello, nice to have you with us. These saloon tables show both days of the weekend to have fair fishing conditions. Peak activity will take place early morning or late afternoon, with times starting at 3:13 on Saturday and 3:48 Sunday morning. Afternoon action picks up around 3:38 on Saturday and 4:13 on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:35 and set at 8:36, and evenings will feature a moon that is 89% visible. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the region. Plus, I'll return with Major League Fishing angler Jacob Wheeler for this week's Ask the Pro question. We're coming right back.
We're actually got a great setup today. We are greeted with a lot of high pressure. We got a windy day forecasted, which we're getting out early. The sun's just now coming up. But really, you can't always pick the days that you fish, but if you can, a windy day is the day that you want to catfish. You know, these catfish like to bite on these windy days. It's gonna be partly sunny. We're midsummer here in Texas. The channel cat spawn is on right now. Some of the fish have actually already spawned out. We're sitting at 80, 83, 84 degrees. We don't actually have to find these fish today. We're gonna have them find us, okay. Which is what's unique about this type of fishing. We can actually control into some degree the actual fish. And what I mean by that is we're gonna go out and bait some holes. We're gonna use range cubes. We're gonna use sour grain. And the great thing about channel catfishing is that if you bait it, they will come.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lew's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. The best in bass and crappie lures, heads to tails. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Request our free 2019 fishing guide at orangebeach.com.
Oh, he's guys, look at you, he smoked him down. What's amazing, look at that big old channel cat. That's like a 2.5, 3 pounder right there. You know that cork is getting ready to just like fall out of the sky right there. Oh, guys, look at you, he smoked him down. Holy crap, look at that fish up on top.
Wow. Well, the channels are really big over here. He took it under. There he is, here he comes.
I think what's amazing, look at that big old channel cat. That's like a 2.5, 3 pounder right there.
There you go.
Look at there.
I'm loving
You know what's amazing
already
about not only this lake that we're on, but everybody in our region has got fish like this. This goes back to when your grandpa used to take you fishing. This is catfishing. One of my favorite ways to catch these channel catfish during the summertime is on a bobber. There's actually a couple of different ways that we're gonna catch fish today as my wife catches another fish in the background here. Guys, using bobbers in the summertime is probably the most effective way to catch these channel cat. And the key is to catch these fish while they move up to spawn. Catfish spawn anywhere from about 77 to 85 degrees, talking about channel cat. And all you've got to do is position your boat near shallow structure. In this case, we found a little patch of rocks down on the dam. We spent a little time getting this spot ready. We put out some chum. You can use range cubes. You can use soured grain. We're going to talk a little bit more about the range cube and soured grain here in a minute. But I like to use a regular bobber. It's a 3.5 inch bobber. You're going to fish anywhere from 2 to 6 foot. Throw it out. And guys, it doesn't take long. Once you get these fish going, you can catch multiple fish on bobbers.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you once again by the good folks at Tejas Boots. When you want boots made to fit and to last a lifetime, go to Tejas Boots. Now this week we're going to start at Lake Waco, one of those lakes that's been reopened post-flooding. And a couple of weeks ago it hosted an all-star celebrity pro-am fishing tournament to benefit Cast for Kids Foundation. On the menu were the Alton Joneses, both senior and junior, Jimmy Houston, Gary Yamamoto, and more. You bid on an angler you wanted to go fish with, and then you fished in a tournament the next day. It was a great tournament, great fish were caught. They did everything you can do to catch bass, and a lot of it worked. They used deep cranks, drop shots, and Carolina rigs. Of course, you start the day with your top waters and go up in the rivers to look for those vegetated locations where you can throw some spinnerbaits and Senkos. Now out at Lake Conroe, you'll catch your crappie on the brush piles or at the bridges. You'll want to use your standard crappie jigs and use colors like cinnamon teal or your chartreuses and your whites and reds. And of course, your crappie rigs with minnows will work as well. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Tejas Boots. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Oh, I see a double coming. I see a double coming. Who's gonna get them first?
Why you?
Oh, shoot! Oh, I got mine! Oh, look at that splash! Oh, what a fish! I mean, really? I mean, look at that rod bending. Now, come on, get out there and get that one you just missed.
I'm about to. I'm about to.
Look at there, guys.
Can't let him outfish me.
What a fish, guys. Look at that beauty. Go ahead, bud. If you feed them, there he is. If you feed them, he will come.
Oh, that's a good
Look at that,
cat.
nice. Guys, we're catching these on every single cast. Look at this. Look at that. That is a awesome, awesome shot on a bobber, on some cheese bait, Lake Murvaul. Never fished it before.
No?
And look here, it's putting them out. The best part about punch bait is the fact that it's punch bait. Hands-free, you do not have to touch this bait whatsoever. You simply take a spoon like this. This is a wooden spoon, it's got a flat end on it. I'm gonna grab the treble, just like this, outside the bucket. I'm gonna punch it 3 or 4 inches into the cheese. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it out at a 45-degree angle. And every single time you're gonna come out with a perfectly baited hook just like this, ready to drop in the water and catch another channel cat. Oh my God, look at this.
Anyway,
God, look at that. That is a great fish.
That is a big fish. Surprised I haven't gotten bit yet.
There, he's on there. Look at you, you got him. I'm coming in right behind her. I'm coming in.
Watch out.
Oh man, you're smoking it down, girl. That's a good fish. Oh, there's another one. Doubles. Oh, this one's headed out to sea.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, look at this.
Anyway.
Oh, this one hadn't come up
look
yet.
at this one.
Yeah, look at that. That is a great fish.
That is a big fish.
You know, one of the neat things about what we're doing here
It's a male.
is that here in the state of Texas, that's a male. Look how
That's what
big
I
that male
said,
is.
yeah, that's a
You can
male.
tell he's a male because he's got that big oversized head.
Yep.
And then I've got
Look at
a
that.
female.
Let me show you
But
this.
what I was saying is that in Texas, you can keep 25 of these things a person. So, and there's very few things that eat better than channel catfish, which is great. I think there's so many of them in there. Look at this one. This one got hung on its side, and he fought better because of that. But I think here's the deal. We've never fished for catfish on this lake. To be honest with you, we had no idea we were coming until yesterday, really, right? Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday. Yeah.
And we just got on Parks and Wildlife's website and found a lake somewhere in East Texas. We didn't want to find a big lake, we wanted a small lake.
Right.
And we just found a lake that Parks and Wildlife said that the catfishing was good in. So we've got 2 channel cat here. Guys, the bite's wide open right now. On your catfish, your males are gonna have these oversized heads. They look like a big knot head, a big bull head. That's a channel cat, and normally the channel cats, especially this time of year, midsummer, they're gonna be darker. This fish has got a 6-pound head on a 2-pound body. And the female is gonna be totally opposite. She's gonna have a real small head, a small mouth. She's gonna be bigger across her back, and she's gonna have a lot more meat on her. I like to let these males go. You don't get a lot of meat off of them. We're actually gonna do that. We're actually gonna keep a few fish today. Terry's gonna let that nice male go. There's a lot more females in the lake anyway.
Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Louisiana Outdoor Report. I tell you what, right now, we're still dealing with the leftover Hurricane Tropical Storm Barry all along the Gulf Coast. We got a lot of storm surge, a lot of high winds out of it. I tell you what, also got quite a bit of rainfall. It's gonna be another week, maybe 2, before things really get back to normal along the whole Gulf Coast. Same thing goes for the freshwater scene. All across central Louisiana, I tell you what, lots of your smaller creeks, smaller lakes and reservoirs, got lots of rainwater. Water's gonna be muddy. Tell you what, hopefully next week I'll have a better report and you can get back out there on the water and do some fish catching. For Old Cajun Field, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. May God bless, and we're gonna see you next week.
Hey folks, Captain Greg Verm here for this week's Fox Southwest Outdoors Report. Hey, let's start this week's report here in Galveston. Lots of great fishing is going on inshore and along Galveston beachfront. Hey, Captain Mike LaRue with LaRueGuideService.com told me he's seeing lots of tarpon in 38 to 45 foot of water along the Galveston beachfront. Captain Mike said in the next few weeks, more tarpon will be showing up, and it's a great time to catch a Texas trophy tarpon. As far as the bays and jetties, hey, Captain Greg Verm Jr. is catching lots of speckled trout along both sets of jetties in West Galveston Bay, using live shrimp on the jetties and wade fishing West Galveston Bay with tops and down south plastics. Hey, now let's move to Freeport, Texas. We're finishing up red snapper season. Lots of giant snapper are hitting the dock, along with kingfish and mahi. The next few weeks, we'll be targeting tuna, amberjack, wahoo, mahi, and kingfish. Also, we're seeing nice weed lines in 40 to 60 miles out. Hey, remember, if you want to fish inshore, offshore, in Galveston or Freeport, give me a call or check out our websites. I'd love to have you aboard. Hey, I'm Captain Greg Verm. I'll see you next time.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide's wireless and easy-to-use XI3. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. Strike King, Taiwan On. Nitro Performance Fishing Boats, because champions aren't born, they're made.
Got him. Yes.
No!
Girls rule, boys drool.
I got an idea. My bobber versus your bobber.
Okay.
Okay, husband versus wife, man versus woman. Okay, here's the deal. My bobber's gonna outfish your bobber. So take your first cast, let's roll.
That's all right, let's
Come on.
All right, let me get a spot.
Look at there. Oh, she got in a good spot. All right, I'm gonna come right in next to her here.
All right, let's see.
All right, here we go. Come on, Court. Oh, crap, I missed mine. Oh, no.
Come on, fish, don't let me down.
Let me get some bait real quick.
Don't let me down.
I still got a
fish.
shot at this.
I think it's
All right, here we
my
go.
cork's floated too far out.
Oh, there he is.
Got him.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Girls rule, boys drool. Is that what they say?
Oh my gosh, I missed my opportunity.
Nice.
That's a nice
fish.
channel. Go, I'm under, I missed him again.
It didn't. There we go.
Oh boy,
We have to outfish our husbands.
a lot of fish in this lake. When you're baiting a channel cat hole, two different things are really necessary. One, to start the hole, I like to take cattle cubes or range cubes and put them out, that starts the hold. It's kind of a slow release. They dissolve. They take about 6 to 8 hours to completely dissolve. And that's a great bait to use to get your fish initially to the spot that you need them to be at. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pour some in right now. We've got a bag of range cubes. We've got these at Tractor Supply. That's a full 50-pound bag. I'll take them. I'm just going to dump about half the bag right there. And that's all I did. There's nothing special about that. And that's what you're going to use to start your hole with. After you've established a hole, I like to take your sour grain and I keep it in a 5-gallon bucket with a screw top lid so I don't lose the lid. And I use a grain scoop right here. And there's your sour. So in this case right here, this is Milo. And I'm just going to take it. I'm going to broadcast it right down this, just like that. I don't like to throw it out real far away from where I'm fishing. I'll take it and I'll put it right down where we're going to fish, which is right there, just like that.
Hey, it finally turned summertime here in Oklahoma, but don't let the hot weather discourage you. You can still catch fish this time of year. In fact, it can be really good. Now, if you want to catch a big bass, your best bet is going to come one of two ways. Either first thing in the morning, like the first hour of daylight, throwing a frog or a buzzbait. Once that sun pops up and starts getting hot, you're going to have to go deeper. You're going to have to find some shade. Now, during the week, most of our river system lakes are pulling water, and that really helps position those big bass along the main river channels. Look for that first break line about 12 foot of water and throw a deep running crankbait or fish a jig or fish a big worm. Crappie fishing right now, go deep, think vertical. Fish standing timber, again at least 10 to 12 foot of water unless you got a lot of color to it, and then you go a little bit shallower. But if it's really deep, you can keep going down till you figure out where those fish are hanging and then repeat that success once you find out what depth they're hanging at. Fun time of year to fish, jump in the water to keep cool, but you can catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
A couple things about cleaning fish. First of all, with channel catfish, you're going to want to take these fish home. It's unlike a lot of fish in the lake that swim. Channel catfish is one of the steak of the lake. And you know, for years and years and years, my grandfather skinned these fish, and it took a long time to clean these fish. But really, with an electric fillet knife, it just takes a few seconds to clean these fish. They're great table fare, and I'm going to go ahead and clean one here for you. Just start right here behind the back here. Just take right down and just come right down his backbone, just like that. Flip him over and just pop it off just like that. It's that easy, guys. The fillet is done. Pull out that rib cage, and you have a perfect boneless fillet that literally took seconds to clean. Just turn this fish over right here. Get this rib cage, flatten the knife, comes over, take it, pull it off. Real simple. Pop off that little edge of the rib cage, and look here, guys. Within just a few seconds, we have 2 perfect boneless fillets ready for the grease. I want you guys to notice this. Don't think that these fish for a second don't eat the chum that you put in the water. Look at here. This fish's craw is full of both range cubes, that's the brown stuff, and then look at the soured grain in his stomach. I'm telling you, if you feed them, they will come.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and the follow button on Twitter, and watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional insiders. This week's question comes from Frank, who asks, should I tie my lure directly to braided line, or should I use a leader, and if so, what? For the answer, we checked with MLF angler Jacob Wheeler.
Well, that's a great question. For me, one thing that I'm always using straight braid on is a frog. A buzzbait's another great one. Anytime you're fishing super heavy cover, that's when I'm going to be tying straight to braid. 30, 40, 50, 65 pound braid. There's for those heavy cover applications. For my finesse tactics though, Most day in and day out, I'm gonna have 8-pound Suffix Nano braid on my reels, and I'm gonna have that connected with either an 8-pound or a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And the advantage is you'll be able to cast further with that spinning rod with braid on it, and that lighter braid is huge deal over having that heavier braid. It's super small diameter, only probably 2 or 4 pound diameter. And some of the knots that I use, the Yucatan knot, the FG knot's probably the best. It takes a little bit of time, but once you get it down pat, it's awesome.
Thank you, Jacob. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's take a look at this week's Big Catch winner.
This week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest is Tiffany Crumley of San Antonio, Texas, with this 50-inch black-tip shark she caught off the Port O'Connor, Texas jetty. To enter the contest, go to foxsportsoutdoors.com, click the Big Catch of the Week box on the right side of the homepage, and follow the instructions to send in your big fish photo. Okay guys, on today's trip, I want to talk to you for just a moment, show you the gear that we use to catch these fish. It's kind of a cool way we've rigged this. Today we used a 6.6 medium light spinning rod. The braid is key because the bite's going to be light. But I want you to check this out and how we rigged this. I have a 1/4 ounce worm weight right here crimped on, directly on to the braid. Okay, and it slides up and down. I can slide it in any position. I like to run it about 6 to 8 inches above. A 4X number 6 treble hook. 4X is your strength. If you use anything less than a 4X, when you go to bend these or take these hooks out of the fish's mouth, you're going to bend your hooks. And another thing that we've used today is our punch bait. This is a 2.5 gallon batch of Mr. Whiskers punch bait. Any punch bait on the market is going to work. Stubbies, if you like a more of a dough bait, the Stubbies bait is a good bait to use as well. Again, we use the wooden spoon to punch the bait in. Works really good. I like to use as big a bucket as you can use. It makes it easier to punch the bait. We also, when we baited our hole today, we used range cubes. You can get these at any feed store. I buy a 50-pound bag, and you can use a 50-pound bag on 3 or 4 holes. It'll bait it up. Once you start fishing, it's not a bad idea to use some sour grain. I like a grain scoop, and you'll just get some grain just like this right here in your scoop, and just take it and pitch it out. It works great. The grain scoop works good. You don't get it on your hands near as bad. And last but not least, if you're not comfortable handling these fish, we talked about putting them up against the boat to keep them from wiggling and getting finned. But if you don't want to touch them, guys, the fish grip is by far the best tool to grip a catfish, especially with kiddos and stuff around. These grips are great. You never have to touch the catfish, and you can release these fish, put them right in the cooler or in the water. So with that said, I think this covers the gear that we used today. Hey, listen, channel catfish is a fun fish to catch. You can catch a ton of fish like we did this morning. We've been here 2 hours. We've already got 40 fish in the boat, and we've never fished this lake before. If we can do it, you can do it. Until next time, Barry will be back next week. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the water.